My perspective on negotiation is very much a win-win approach. Win-win is the best even for selfish reasons. Even if you don't care about the other party and their result, and you only want to maximize your return on the negotiation, still the win-win approach is the best way of achieving that. In fact, there's the idea of win-win or no deal. Win-win or no deal. If you can't get win-win, walk away, go somewhere else. Why? Because if it's a win-lose result, if you are taking the old school approach to negotiation, which is the win-lose approach, where you push something through at the other party's expense, what's going to happen is that rapidly becomes lose-lose. We'll see later on how this happens, but typically the other party will find their way of getting their own back. A great example is putting horse meat in the burger. If you remember, the supermarkets, they squeezed their suppliers because they could. They squeezed them more, they squeezed them more. This was very much a win-lose approach to negotiation. And what happened? The suppliers agreed, but they put horse meat in the burger. They found a way of evening things up. So win-lose rapidly becomes lose-lose. The other approach of lose-win, well, we definitely don't want to do that. We absolutely want to make sure that we get our outcome. That is crucial. So lose-win is just not a goer at all. So absolutely go for win-win, even for selfish reasons. Now, some of you might be thinking, I know, that the people that you work with aren't necessarily win-win players. And it is true that the win-win approach only really works if the other person is a win-win player too. So what we're going to look at in this course is a methodology that I've developed called strong win-win. And strong win-win enables you to go for win-win because there is value in doing that, whilst protecting yourself against anything that they might try on. And perhaps even better, strong win-win helps the other person become more of a win-win player. Even if they weren't naturally a win-win player initially, the strong win-win method will help them become one. And if you put these methods into practice, you will find that there are potentially quite remarkable results out there to be had. And I really encourage you to be very ambitious in terms of your outcome that you can achieve from these negotiations. I believe that there are some much better results out there to be had than most people think. Let me give you an example of a great negotiated result. Take a look at this island. Some of you might recognize it, some of you might have been on holiday there, some of you might even own it. It's Necker Island, now known as Virgin Island. In 1979, this was on the market for £5 million. Now, how much would you offer for it? If you wanted that island, it's on the market for £5 million, how much would you offer? Some of you are probably thinking £4 million, maybe some of you being a little bit more aggressive, offering 3.5 or 3, maybe even £2.5 million. Richard Branson offered £100,000 and he got it for £180,000. How did he do that? Well, he found out that Lord Cobham was the owner. Lord Cobham was asset rich, cash poor. He had a huge estate which he'd just inherited from his father, but he'd been hit with an inheritance tax bill that he couldn't afford. Can you guess how much the inheritance tax bill was? Yep, it was £180,000. So Branson also knew that Lord Cobham had never set foot on the island. It was just an item on a portfolio somewhere, on a spreadsheet somewhere that he hardly even knew he had. So Branson got the island, Lord Cobham got his inheritance tax bill problem solved. Both parties went away happy, and that's an example of the kind of remarkable deal that if you think about it and really do your research, is available to you.